Do you want to learn more about the latest science in reproductive medicine? Explore content from the Fertility and Sterility family of journals, including the newest journals, F&S Reviews, F&S Science, and F&S Reports, all included in your ASRM membership. For even more content, follow Fertility and Sterility on social media, listen to the F&S On Air podcast, and participate in the Journal Club Global and F&S webinar series. To learn more about the Fertility and Sterility family of journals and its multimedia content options, visit fertstert.org. That's fertstert.org.
Welcome to ASRM Today, a podcast that takes a deeper dive into the current topics in reproductive medicine.
I am Jeffrey Hayes, and this is ASRM Updates for February 2023. Introducing Repro Reader, an ASRM community newsletter. Repro Reader breaks down the science behind reproductive medicine and makes it accessible for everyone. Join us quarterly for patient resources, advocacy and policy updates, mental health tips, and so much more. You can read the first issue and subscribe to future issues by clicking on the link in our show notes. Become a grant reviewer for the ASRM Research Institute. The ASRM Research Institute is currently recruiting grant reviewers with grant writing and/or review experience for the fiscal year 23 grant cycle. We are in need of reproductive professionals to review grant proposals in both the pilot and exploratory, meaning less than $50,000, and discovery and innovation, meaning greater than $50,000, categories. As a reviewer, you will review submissions in January for the pilot and exploratory cycle and/or February for the discovery and innovation cycle. Your expertise and feedback are invaluable to ASRM and your colleagues. Not to mention, you get a first-hand look at the amazing work researchers are doing in the field of reproductive science. Click on the link in our show notes to volunteer. We've got a new update, Mental Health Professional Treatment Interventions Training Module. ASRM, in collaboration with the MHPG, is excited to announce the updated Mental Health Professional Treatment Interventions, a program for both new and experienced MHPs. The program will orient new professionals and refresh seasoned mental health service providers to ethical principles, research practices, and a wide range of treatment considerations involved with infertility care. Treatment Interventions features micromodules, short engaging didactics by content experts, interactive elements, vivid and descriptive videos, immediate reinforcement of learning, and case scenarios for practical application. To register for this, just click on the link in our show notes. Fertility and Sterility On Air recently published Unplugged for January 2023. In the January Fertility and Sterility On Air, they took a look at articles from each of Fertility and Sterility's sister journals. Topics included cytokine profiles associated with miscarriage, a review of blood and urine biomarkers for endometriosis, and embryonic aneuploidy rates in patients with recurrent pregnancy loss. To listen to that episode, click on the link in our show notes. Finally, a upcoming webinar notice here on February the 9th, 2023 from 3 to 4 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Reproductive care for the obese patient. Dr. Reamer will be moderating a fantastic webinar with Dr. Estes, Bortoletto, and Heitman discussing the approach to reproductive procedures for the obese patient in a variety of settings, ranging from the IVF suite to the main OR. Registration for that webinar on February the 9th, you can click on the link in our show notes. Until next time, I am Jeffrey Hayes, and this is ASRM Today.
This concludes this episode of ASRM Today. For show notes, author information, and discussions, go to asrmtoday.org. This material is copyrighted by the American Society for Reproductive Medicine and may not be reproduced or used without express consent from ASRM. ASRM Today series podcasts are supported in part by the ASRM Corporate Member Council.
The information and opinions expressed in this podcast do not necessarily reflect those of ASRM and its affiliates. These are provided as a source of general information and are not a substitute for consultation with a physician.